Thank you for staying with us. And as you can see, guess who? Bernice Abu-Baidoo Lansah is back.
Yes.
And we'll be heading into town to find out what people think about the mid-year budgetary review.
Yeah, so Professor Bopping made a statement that this, what he refers to as our economic crisis, has gone beyond the macro level to the micro level. So we want to hear from you how this affects you, what you're also expecting to hear. We've heard from Dr. Obing, who's Guta president. He says, we don't want to hear any introduction of new taxes. What do you expect? Well,
and we don't want increments on any of the prevailing taxes.
Yes. So I'm sure that you're sitting at home and you also have your own expectations, you know, considering how your pockets have been faring, at least in the past 4 months. What are you hoping to see? Benjamin and I have had this conversation over time about how, and even one of your guests raised it, about how government across the world
measures they are putting in place.
Put in place interventions, measures to ease the burden on their...
I loved what was said. They are taking away from big corp, which makes sense. These entities are making over $1 billion every year and using that to, you know, cushion ordinary folk. Here, nothing of the sort.
It makes sense.
So, and when we bring in the Ivory Coast and some of what they are doing, people say, oh, but the Ivory Coast, oh, did they give you food, free food? I didn't get that food. Did they give you free electricity? I actually didn't really benefit. Water, look, around the period they were giving water, my taps weren't even flowing. So I could say practically everything you did was lost on me. But I understand some people may have benefited from it. But look at what they are doing in other circles and what we are doing.
So Benjamin, I mean, valid point you raised. And so there are those who say there's no denying that, you know, the world over governments are struggling, but it's the decisions that make the difference. Okay. So what decisions are being taken here in Ghana to ensure that individuals like you, like you watching us, you know, have a little burden eased on your pockets? And over the weeks, we've been talking to experts who said, and even the Vice President himself has confirmed it, it may get tougher before it gets better.
You know, when I hear that, because each time now I have to go to a filling station, I get palpitations each time. I remember yesterday, you know, topping up, and I was asking, is the price still what it was the last time? Because, I mean, now, at least in the last few weeks, there's been some stability, and even diesel has eased up just a tad. But that's how bad it is. That's how apprehensive. I don't have to be this apprehensive. It's not good even for your health as a human being.
You're right.
You know?
You're right. So we've got our fingers crossed. The finance minister is expected to appear in Parliament, and sitting will start at 10 a.m., we are told. Hopefully he can get there on time, and we'll be bringing it to you live here on the Joy News channel. We've also been sampling views. Our colleague Michael Ashale is out. He will be bringing us those views. But Benjamin, you also mentioned that conversation we will be having later about what the Ghana Water Company Limited has decided to do.
Interesting move.
I find it very interesting because I remember the conversation that I had with Mr. Stanley Marty about why they were asking for an upward review for tariffs, and debt was one of the major issues. The Ghana Water Company owed. The Ghana Water Company was not making enough to run, to keep its operations running. So we will be finding out for you shortly. And of course, I'm sure you'll be happy to know if you qualify to benefit from this particular initiative by the Ghana Water Company Limited. But let's cross over now to my colleague, Michael Ashale, who is out to find out from some of you what your expectations of the mid-year budget review are.
In terms of expenditure and also in income for half of the year for 2022. Well, we are asking you this morning, what really are your top priorities, concerns you're expecting the government to address through this mid-year budget review? We're speaking to everybody. Where we are currently is at 37 bus terminal, not the main one, the one that is on the shoulder of the Medina to Accra stretch here. We interact with everybody, for transport owners, for drivers, for passengers themselves, for commuters. What really do they think? There's a driver here. Let me speak to him. Driver, good morning. So the finance minister is going to be in parliament today. What are some of the things you're expecting him to talk about?
Actually, for me, I was expecting that we'll talk about the fuel so that the fuel will reduce for us.
What exactly do you want him to do about the fuel? Reduce it, take off the taxes?
Take some of the taxes for us so that we'll be free. Everyone will be free.
But tell me, we started the year with somewhere 6 Ghana cedis. It's been difficult for you, right?
Yeah, now we cannot buy the fuel. I mean, as everybody was saying, we cannot buy the fuel. So we need for him to reduce the fuel for us.
So that's a driver, and top of his list is the cost of fuel. He's asking for the taxes specifically. That adds up to the petroleum price build-up to probably be reviewed. Let me see if I can get some more individuals to speak to here. But it's a number of people that we are here to speak to. Drivers, transport owners, even for commuters and those that are hawking just here. Although illegal, probably the living conditions is what has brought them to this situation. Madam, good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Finance Minister and then Obeko Parliament. Then our person Okanhuasem and Opawe.
And Konomen,
Then I want Enyama.
and Yama Bibia Boyadi. Say cry, intimate she, into Okanhuasem. Why, and Konomen, they say, Nkoyu. Say, what one they cry and talk. Ediani intimate and Moses Omonte 3 city. I dream 4 city. I mean, me to a method 3 city answer me, 4 city no cramp.
Too bad we lost Michael there. I was enjoying the interaction.
Very interesting take.
Yes.
The driver, and very from 6 CDs to what? 12 CDs plus 13 CDs. So obviously he's not happy. And he says he wants the taxes
taking off.
Looked at. And that's the same tax component that Mr. President responding to the TUC
He
and others said that 4 billion.
Yes,
Charlie, we're not going to do.
Yes. And that lady who was talking about how people aren't purchasing her goods and products anymore. Like I say, it's down to the very last Ghanaian.
These are the people on the ground. If they're telling you Chroma Asia.
Exactly. Too bad we lost the feed there. We will try. In fact, we need to try to get it back so we can hear from more of you. But you can get onto our Facebook page if you have anything to share on what you expect to hear from the finance minister as he prepares to deliver the mid-year budget review.
And maybe I'll just chip in this. What do you think about the arrears we have? Because, in my interactions with Professor Bokpin, he mentioned that, look, if you want to control matters, how about the number of ministers you have? Slash them to maybe under 60 and you could be saving about 3 billion Ghana cedis. Well, guess what? We are also looking at having these arrears to WAEC, to contractors, of about 25 billion Ghana cedis. When I work it out, it shouldn't be anything less than $3.2 billion. I mean, we have all of these to deal with. What do you think about that? How do we get out of this? Because like people have clearly said, even government admitting, Kojo Nkrumah has admitted it, the IMF is not the solution. The $1.5 billion they are giving us, or will give us, depending on certain factors, is not the solution. But I keep looking forward. How are we going to deal with all of this? You owe WAEC. They are due to conduct exams. I'm told it will not affect the BEC, but how about the WASI? And now we're even conducting our own thing. So the dynamics are different.
So Benjamin, when you talk, people say you're being too focused on the negatives and you're not seeing any positives. But I'm sorry to say, there's just so much happening that is
overwhelming
of the situation we find ourselves in. I don't remember the last time I heard of WAEC being owed. I mean, there were some of the things you knew that, okay, well, there were teachers, contractors, yes, but now it's becoming very widespread and it's very concerning. So just to mention that the minister is not only presenting a review, but we're expecting that there will be some supplementary budget that will have to be approved later. Initially, we heard that it was just going to be a review. So, the majority leader in Parliament gave some clarification to that. So let's see how it goes, and hopefully we'll be able to see the light, as they say, at the end of the tunnel on this particular one. So we will hope that we can get Michael back, but for now, we'll take a quick breather. When we come back, we'll be having that conversation about what the Ghana Water Company Limited is doing for people who owe it. Do stay.